Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at Onside Podcast on social media. Hello and welcome back to the Onside Podcast with me, Jay and Elliot, and what a game week we had, to be honest. It was full of absolute drama and chaos. We had the Chelsea-Tottenham game, the Battle of the Bridge, 2 people are calling it, with Tuchel and Conte come to clashes a few times. I mean, that was an unbelievable game. We had the downfall of Man United again.
It's terrible.
Part 2 this week.
Part 3 pending.
No. 4-0 loss to Brentford, rock bottom, and clubs in absolute state. I mean, you would have heard it all weekend. If you haven't heard about Man United this weekend, then you're
definitely living under a rock.
You know what I mean? Liverpool last night drawn with Palace. So Nunez lost his head, red card. It's kind of left Liverpool in a bit of a jeopardy.
2 points
now,
after three
no
games.
strikers, and if they drop points against Man United next week, City could have a 6-point lead, and we're only 3 weeks in. You know what I mean? So they could already be pretty much. Well, I don't want to say handing the title over, but
I think people are
City
forgetting
can go clear by quite a bit by Christmas.
People are
Arsenal
ruling out
Tottenham.
Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea. By
they
the way.
go
that
with
is
the
true,
new,
and we did say at the start of the season that Tottenham might be in it.
Yeah.
But I think, do you want to go? Which game do you want to go into first? Liverpool.
Sure.
You going into
last
it?
night.
Yeah.
So last night, well, Tottenham could still get in it. I mean, I think Liverpool and Tottenham are pretty much at the minute on par with each other in a way.
See, but at the end of the day, you can't really judge after 2 games.
Yeah.
I know. It's just, I think the state that Liverpool's going to leave themselves in due to the injuries, it's going to be a real struggle.
I think they need to add 1 or 2 more, because
they've already got 9 injuries or something. Thiago.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are the second choice players, but still, you're saying last night when they were bringing on players, they win.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 strikers which are injured as well, Jota, Firmino, and Nunez now with the red card. Yeah, sorry, he's not injured. But they're 3 strikers which would slot into any Premier League team.
Yeah. Even some of the second choice players, Naby Keita, he could get in any Premier League team, really.
You think Carvalho will have to start next
Carvalho.
game? Yeah.
Carvalho.
Diaz will play as a striker.
I said before, like when they were just walking out, I was like, Liverpool are down the bone now because I think you were
playing.
saying or something, Nat Phillips was playing. You were like, Nat Phillips. And I was like, they're literally down to nothing now.
They've probably got to add a few more, though.
Yeah, a few more signings wouldn't hurt them.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool just make signings if they know they want that player rather than
just making it for the sake of making it.
I think Liverpool pinpoint 2 or 3 players a year and just focus on them players.
Yeah,
But if you look at the lineup last night, they had Nat Phillips playing, they had Harvey Elliott playing, and they had James Milner playing. And then the bench, you'd think maybe they got a few options. They got Carvalho on the bench, Tsimikas on the bench, Henderson, Keita, and Gomez, and the rest are just youth.
Keita still must not be.
And they're all just they're pretty much.
Yeah, no, he would have come on last night.
Squad players.
Gomez mustn't have been fit either.
Carvalho could probably fit in, but the rest.
Because Gomez only came on the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
they were on top. To be fair, Liverpool the majority of the game.
They
dominated. Palace looked every time they went forward, they looked dangerous.
Aye.
And I don't know whether it was because
Palace could have won easily.
I know. I don't know whether it was because Nat Phillips was playing and Zaha thought, "I fancy myself against him." Because if you realised, he never ever played on Van Dijk because you're not going to, are you?
Why would you?
So he played on the weak link. And to be fair, he got in a few times. It hit the post. He could have went. You know what I mean?
Took his goal very well.
His goal was a very good finish.
I mean, last night
they had chances. To be
Luis
fair,
Diaz came a little bit of a leader there.
Yeah,
definitely.
He was more than Salah. Salah went.
Yeah,
Salah was quiet last night.
The 2 game weeks I've watched him, he's been quiet and a bit boring. I don't know, like he doesn't. For me, anyways, he doesn't attack as much now. He's more of a on the wing, of a playmaker. Like
same
I
as
don't know, because they've got Nunez now. I mean, I'm expecting him for the next Nunez is out for 3 games now. I know Newcastle's one of them, Man United's one. Can't remember the other team who he's out for again. But I expect Salah to be coming into a more of an attacking role.
Yeah, when Nunez.
But he's still attacking. But I think it's
dropped off a bit compared to recent years.
I don't think it's more Salah being less attackive.
Yeah, I think he's playing more for the team now.
I think it's people are now realising. Well, they should have realised last season, but they're trying to target Salah now. Where they think, right, if we stop Salah, we probably have a chance of because last night I thought that Tariq Mitchell was good against him.
Yeah,
he was. I think who was the left centre half. They looked like they were trying to double up a little bit and squeeze the centre half across to stop Salah because he likes to cut inside or go down the line, and it worked.
I know realistically, he only goes on his left foot.
Yeah,
like,
but sometimes he does go down the line, and I think that's what people try and do now. Yeah. Try and cut that supply of Salah because if they stop Salah, then they stop assists and goals. Really.
Yeah.
He's the best player in that team.
Yeah, I think Patrick Vieira last night sorted his team out really well. Didn't allow Liverpool to pressurise them too much.
Couldn't play their game, really.
You couldn't. Because at first, when I was watching the first half, I was like, we've seen teams before, Man United being one of them, where you pressurise them enough, they'll crumble.
Make mistakes.
I mean, God knows what the scoreline will be next Monday. Because if Brentford can pressurise you and you can concede 4 in 35 minutes against them, the Liverpool team pressurising you, you're going to be all over the place.
It's a weak Liverpool team.
I thought Palace did well just to pass the ball about and get it out from the back.
Yeah.
In the first half, I thought they did that really well, and eventually it worked out, and they found Zaha.
The counter-attacking football they played.
I mean, that was like one of the first shots, wasn't it? Brilliant finish by Zaha.
Side now.
And then second half, the pressure. I mean, they were going to eventually get a goal. It was coming, you could tell.
Well, Lewis Diaz, a bit of magic though.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And you kind of need that sometimes. Someone with a bit of magic to break a deadlock.
Especially as a big team as Liverpool, that's exactly what you need. If you're not playing the way you should play, that's what you need.
Especially when you dominate a game, you can get frustrated. And you just need that player just to lead the team and get a goal for you. But yeah, next Monday is looking like a bit of a huge game for both teams, for Man United and Liverpool.
Because Man United losing 3 games back-to-back start of the season.
That's not what you want as well.
What can you see all over the headlines? I can just see Man United winning.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I just see it happening.
It's the edge of Ronaldo scoring and stuff.
Ronaldo looking at the sky annoid.
I think the Man United could win.
People saying, this is what happens now with Liverpool. They've got no depth. Liverpool looking to...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Liverpool have 2 points after 3 games.
The talk of this weekend is literally all Man United.
2 draws.
Fulham
and Palace draw.
Oh, they've only been 2 games, haven't they?
Yeah. But I'm saying if they lose against United, they'll only have 2 points in 3 games.
Yeah. So 4-0 loss to Brentford leaves them rock bottom. I mean, that's all what this weekend talk is going to be, how much of a mess the club is right now. And I mean,
it's all the way through from the top right the way to the
we had the Redknapp and Neville argument on the Saturday night after the game. And Neville was blaming the owners. He was saying it's a mix of both, because
they're both right.
Yeah, they both are right. With Neville saying it was all the owners' fault. That's the reason we're losing 4-0 because the club is in a mess, and it is true. They have left them in a mess, and it's not run properly. They've not got the right people in at all. But
he's pinpointing though. They're getting beat because of the owners.
Yeah.
And Redknapp rightly so said, well, what about the players?
Because what Neville's point was, these players shouldn't be playing for United.
Yeah,
Ragnick said, they needed a full new 11.
Some of them, the majority of them, shouldn't be playing for Man United. But you can pinpoint the owner, but you've also got to look at the players. The owner is to blame massively.
100%.
Right? But you've also got to look at some of them players. And you've got to look individually. You've got to hear world-class goalkeeper. Yeah. Yes, he's made a mistake, but
most of the time he's on.
Yeah, he's a world-class keeper.
Yeah, but for the players though, you're not playing for the owner. You're playing for the club.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Obviously, the owners,
most of the players aren't
bring
enough.
them
in. Yeah,
but they've still got enough quality. Like me and Jay were saying this before. Sancho, if he goes to a Man United or Chelsea when he went to Man City or Chelsea instead of Man United, he's good. Yeah. He becomes good like that.
You think he'd be a top player?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know whether it's because the pressure of Man United and the dire situation in at the moment. I don't know whether he's not performing because the way that everything's run at United.
You have got a lot of weight on your shoulders, but I think that comes either way. It doesn't matter what team you're at. If you go on a bit of a losing streak, the pressure is going to be there.
But Man United...
I know in Man United it does get a bit
worse because
as Gary Neville says, this is Manchester United.
Just because as well, all the eyes are on United.
It is the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
If not the biggest.
Well, it's starting to fade away. That's another problem.
Exactly. That's why. If this was a Southampton, something was happening at Southampton, it wouldn't get talked about as much because it's not a United. It's not the status of Man United. But from where United were with Ferguson, how big and a fortress Old Trafford was. It's not a fortress anymore.
No, yeah.
Like Neville said, the stadium's rotting away. The owners are just
letting... It's not a place where opposition goes, it's a big game, we're going to Old Trafford anymore. It's, we're going to Old Trafford.
And
for me, it looks like a club which you can kind of take the mick in a bit.
Yeah, obviously it's not nice being a Man United fan because we were in the situation in Newcastle where all these fans would take the mick out of Newcastle for this situation in. And it wasn't nice, but when you see it happen to someone else, it's funny in a way, but then you need to understand the
it is a bit nicer though, because United dominated football for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they need to do the same what Man Utd and that's done just recently with Newcastle.
But we were saying
it's
that
different
we've got
when
the right people in Newcastle.
It's different when like Chelsea and Man City came in because they put loads of money in and then built the team, and then that was how they did it. Newcastle can't really do that like that with financial fair play. I mean, Man United have got more of a leverage. I don't know what their financial fair play is, but they've got the property there to then sell off to improve that if they need. But they need to get a full club clean out, like what Amanda did. Came in, she got rid of Lee. Lee Charney, got rid of him. I think they sacked the manager, got a new manager in. They got rid of
someone else on the board. I think
there was someone else on the board they got rid of. They brought in a new CEO from Atlanta who they've just got. They've got who was it?
Dan Ashworth.
Dan Ashworth. There you go.
We've got a new head of recruitment, I think.
Head of recruitment.
Did Steve Harper leave? He left, didn't he? We've got a new
goalkeeper.
Steve Harper.
He was the academy manager.
But you got Eddie Howen as well. That enough is a full refresh for like pretty much what you need, the fundamentals of it.
I think
it's the right decisions, though.
They've
made the right decisions from. They don't seem like at the top of Man United. They're not making the right decisions.
Yeah.
I personally think they've made some wrong decisions, but they've made some right decisions in a way.
Yeah.
They've brought. I don't know whether it was the ex-manager Ragnick or who was in charge when they got Sancho in. I don't know whether it was the manager that pushed to get Sancho or Bruno in or Ronaldo in. But they've made the right. If it was the Glazer, then they've made the right decision to get them players in.
Yeah.
Because they are players that will help the squad.
When you look at it, why didn't Man United go for Dan Ashworth?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when Man City took over, they went, right, who do we take? We take the top guys. They took them from Barcelona and brought them in, and look at the squad that they've developed now.
That's the thing. Like they don't seem bothered about the club.
Like Man City,
they haven't invested any of their own money.
It's none of their own money is going into Man United.
Yeah.
I think
that's
why.
I can totally understand the frustration from Man United fans because this has happened to Newcastle. We've invested. Mike Ashley's invested hardly any money of his own. But Man United have invested even less money from Glazers, you know what I mean?
I think it's not obviously
Glazers' money.
The money part of it's obviously a huge factor. He's not putting his own, but I think it's showing that he doesn't care.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to put your own money in, Man City sheiks put 500 million in
of his own money, out of 700 or something.
We were looking at this one. They've spent 785 million. 500's been his own money.
Yeah. I never think that he sees it as an investment. He's just sat there to make money off it. That's all it is, really.
It's something you can just sit back watching.
But then at the end of the day, right?
Because it is still Man United. People are going to buy tickets.
If they got Ronaldo in, and if he didn't do as well, would it be pinpointed at the owners? Because they haven't. He's done well, but like
who's buying the players?
Yeah, I just want to know, like,
because it was going to be Ragnick
this Glazers,
but then he
went
meant to be Ragnick, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now he's an Austrian manager.
I just don't. I don't know who buys him. Like, it's just. I can understand Gary Neville come out in the media and say. I know they don't have to. Of course, they don't have to. But as a fan, you want your owner to come out and explain what the plan is. Mike Ashley came out in the media. And do you know what? We'll give him a bit of respect for coming out.
Yeah.
And he obviously said,
that's why
I can't compete with the likes of Man City.
Yeah.
But then the point was just totally irrelevant. Like, we're not asking you to do that.
That's why
just to put a little bit of money in.
Hated Ella short.
Yeah.
The last 10 years, I think he came in about 3 or 4 games. And he only just came out and spoke when he was selling the club.
Yeah.
So this is my plan to sell the club. He didn't care about
I think Man United just want a bit of direction and a bit of... But
bit of hope, you know what I mean? That's what you need in a football club. There's no hope or plan there.
Did Redknapp say something like, if the owners went, would this still happen on the pitch?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. When you went about Newcastle before, I also think he's got... Lucky's not the right
But we had
word.
a sense of feeling when we got took over by someone, the squad looked a lot better. Like, there was a sense of feeling where there was uplift in the stadium, and we've seen it with how the fans get behind it. I mean, you've seen it like Everton, Goodison, for example. The owners are in dismay, but because the fans are behind them, that's pretty much what kept them up last season.
Yeah.
And when you get your fans behind you, you feel
To be
better.
fair, I do think it's a fact. If the Glazers go, I think Man United would turn around like that. Because I think it is the situation from the top. Like buying...
Because that's how we felt with Mike Ashley. There was just something there rotting away, and it was just waiting and waiting for something to happen to change. And that's how I feel like Man United fans will feel at the minute. They're just waiting for it to change.
I can totally understand Man United fans' frustration as well. Like, the link with this Matheus Cunha, right, Brazilian forward from Atletico Madrid.
I think he is.
Atletico bought him, I think it was in 2020 or 2021 for £23 million, right? He scored 7 goals in 2 years or 1 year. Something stupid. So his return's awful, right? Yeah. They want to buy him for 50 million, so they're paying double. Why would, if that's the Glazers, then, or if that's someone, there's obviously someone that's making these decisions. I don't know whether it's the Glazers or it's the head of recruitment or it's the what do you call them, the CEO or whatever,
director of football.
It's the wrong person. And Alovic for 8.5 million. Jamie Vardy. These three signings they're linked with is just the complete wrong. It's Man United, the biggest club in the world. You shouldn't be going for the likes of Vardy. You shouldn't be going for the likes of Arnautovic.
No, yeah. But you look at that. It's also the big top 6. Look at the other 5 teams who they've bought. And look at who Man United
Haaland. They've got Spurs have got Kane.
Yeah. Not Spurs have bought Basuma. Basuma would have been a good player for United. Your Bentancurs, your Kulusevskis, why has Man United not been looking in the Italian league and looking for the
Arsenal, Zinchenko, Jesus. Yeah. Why on earth Man United not looked at, I know it's City like, but you want to buy the best players.
Like, Glazers out isn't exactly the definitive answer. I still forget his name. Who's Arsenal's owner? Is it Kroenke?
Stan Kroenke.
Stan Kroenke.
They wanted him out, and look what he's done the last few years. He's actually like put money into the club.
Yeah, because he needed to.
Got Arteta, had a plan. Like, that's what I mean. But it's like,
there's a plan. But do you not think there's a plan? He's got Ten Hag in, and he's going to set the Ten Hag. Well, like I know it's none of their money, but he must have set the Ten Hag. Right, you come in, you can have some of the signings you want.
Yeah, even when
he's brought Malacia and he wanted De Jong and he's brought Martinez in. He's got 2 that he wants. Yeah. You kind of tell me the Ten Hag wants Vardy. Like that's not a Ten Hag signing, that is it?
Even when you watch the Arsenal documentary though, and you see how was it Josh Kroenke? How he's interacting with the manager every day. Guaranteed that the Glazers would not be like that.
The Glazers are in Tampa or whatever they are. They're not bothered.
They're nothing of like that at all. There's no.
I don't do it off my experience when we've got when you want to cool. He's all around the club all the time. He's in. They made the point.
They made the point where you can do it where you own the club and that, but then it's the fact of meeting the right people to then run it for you.
Yeah, you need the right people.
Don't have that.
Do you know what though?
If like Tottenham and Daniel Levy.
I think Man United fans would want a bit of respect. Would like a bit of respect if they came out and said, "Look, we have made wrong decisions in the past. Yeah. We have got these wrong people in. Yeah. Put some money in yourself." You know what I mean? That's what they need.
Yeah. Everyone's saying they've spent £1 billion, but they could have spent.
But that's one thing. Really, that's one thing. I think with. They've brought some players in.
I know what you mean. Like Sancho's a good signing.
Sancho's a brilliant signing. Like, yes, he hasn't done very well, but Bruno Fernandes at the time, Maguire was steep, but he was still a good signing. Ronaldo's been a great signing. Do you know what I mean? They've brought the kind of Man United fans.
About Maguire on the other hand, signing, like
he was at the time. He was
not 80 million, but he was a good signing. He was one of the best centre backs.
Yeah, but when you broke it down though, like Paul Merson did, right? If Paul Merson could break it down and show that Maguire won't fit into the system, then surely what?
No, but at the time, Man United buying probably the best centre back at the time in the Premier League, he was very, very good.
It's still questionable though.
For the price, yes, but he was still very, very good.
He was good.
If they're gone for 30 mil, then no one would.
It's just the fact that Paul Merson could break it down and look at it and go, well, how is he going to be a good sign when he plays in this defence and he only plays international like this? You know what I mean? Like if he can break it down like that. But at the time, though, I thought it did make sense because he was doing really well for Leicester. He was brilliant for England in the World Cup. It made sense. Going to one of the best teams in the world, the biggest clubs in the world. It made sense. You've got to make the transfers to know how to fit into your system.
That jump. Van Dijk was Southampton in a deep line, and then he can now.
That's why I think Man United don't do that. I don't think they make the signings to fit
their
team.
system.
It's to fit for the sponsors. Well, I think we'll move on because
this is going to be a long debate if we keep going.
Yeah, we'll be on it for ages. Chelsea, Tottenham, Conte and Tuchel clash heads a couple of times during the game, especially at the full time. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen.
Do you know what? That was just so good to watch.
Knock him out.
That was so good to watch.
Yeah, it was amazing.
See what he tweeted on Twitter?
Aye.
Saying like if he's seen him run past him, would have tripped him over.
Proper man. But it's been a while since we've seen a few man the pass. It's just been.
The only ones I think it was Mourinho.
It's been like Klopp and Guardiola. They've it's all respect for each other. Pretty much sucking each other off in the media and that. Where is this? This is what we want to see. This is entertainment.
This
is what we need in the Premier League. But the game 2-2, I felt Tottenham were very, very lucky to get a point.
I thought they were poor.
Yeah,
very
I
poor.
was surprised.
But I was seeing this series, wasn't I?
I thought Tottenham would be so attacking.
If Tottenham can play that bad
and still get a point
away to Chelsea, who were excellent, that is massive for Tottenham. That is a massive, massive point for Tottenham.
I mean, refereeing decisions were questionable.
Yeah, don't get us wrong. Tottenham got very, very lucky with the decisions.
Reece James should have had about 3 yellow cards, as well as the already yellow card he had.
The decision for that corner, that's ridiculous. But Anthony Taylor, I thought he let a lot go in the game. Yeah. Soon as saying he was brilliant until that decision. What game was he watching? Taylor? I thought he was awful.
I've got a feeling Anthony Taylor has read this article, right, what Clattenburg did for the first Battle of the Bridge in 2016, because that was like, loads of people should have been sent off that game and he was just giving yellows pretty much. I think he gave like a record amount of yellows for a team, like 9 yellows or something for one team. And I feel like, because the way he described, the way he refed it like that, with what he said anyways, he refed it like that because he knew that if he did it that way, if he'd sent anyone off, then the blame would be all over him.
Yeah.
But if like
but then it goes both ways.
I know, but if they kept it like that, then the blame would have been on Tottenham, because it would have been Tottenham who've lost the title to Leicester because they've lost drew against Chelsea, and that is the case of what's happened. And we get that point, and I get how he's ref that, but
I think it's just referee
with Anthony Taylor. He wasn't given anything. I mean, how many yellows did he give? He gave no yellows at all to any Spurs players at all, which is that alone is shocking. There's nothing. Because remember, we had that bet on, didn't we? Where I had like Tottenham to have 2 yellows, they didn't have a single one.
I honestly think he's awful.
Yeah, Chelsea got 3.
The ref, he's awful. Like, I just don't understand. And I think VAR. We were thinking VAR's going to be sort of. It's just how on earth is VAR not looked at Romero pulling his hair?
VAR did look at it.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, how can you look at it and not think? I think it's not VAR. Sorry, it's the people in control of VAR, and I think that is the most clear as day decision. I think it's just shocking.
It's like it happened with Fellaini when Fellaini got his hair pulled. It was pen.
Yeah, everyone went off it. Last year, I seen it on Twitter.
Yeah, but Fellaini pulled. That would be a penalty, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would that be a pen? It would be a free kick. You can't. Well, the rule would be like
indirect free kick. You can't
overrule it to then give it a free kick the other way, because it's not overruling the goal. There's one.
It's a serious incident though in the box that would. They can happen.
Well, so you think that should be a free kick?
No, it should be a free kick, but I don't think VAR's got the power to pull that back.
No, but say that's been switched, right? Romero's in the box. He looks at Cucurella, punches him. Is that a foul to Chelsea?
But if the referee doesn't give it for some daft reason, like he didn't, but the hair,
he was looking right at it. How can he not give it? I don't understand why he hasn't seen it. Do you know what I mean?
That's down to the referee. Then that's not down to VAR. That's down to the referee.
But VAR is there to fix clear and obvious errors. That is a clear and obvious error.
But would it be a sending off? It wouldn't, would it? It would just be yellow.
It shouldn't. It's not. I don't know. I don't know whether it's definitely a card. It's definitely a yellow. I don't know whether it's a red, but it's a foul.
That's what I mean. So you can't send him off for it, so the VAR can't pull it back. It wasn't a goal disallowed, so the VAR can't pull it back. So there's nothing VAR can do there.
But VAR. Yeah, but it's a corner. VAR can say, look, he's been fouled when the ball's been in play, so therefore it's a foul to Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's what the VAR should say.
But they should, but they can't. Down to the rules, that's the reason they can't pull it back for.
Yeah, because
end of the day, the referee should have saw it.
100% now.
It's down to the referee. It's not down to VAR. It's down to the referee for that.
No, but say
he's missed it though. Say he's missed it for someone's in his way. He's missed it, or he didn't say it because he was looking at the ball, for example. Then that's a clear and obvious error. The referee is missed and made.
Yeah.
So therefore, it should get overruled.
Yeah,
but like perfect.
But if you change the rule for that, I mean, it would then get a bit out of control again, wouldn't it? Like, do you know when they had? Because I mean, we've said about the first goal for Tottenham, for example, that should have people were like, oh well, why didn't that get pulled back for the foul?
Yeah.
No, but that was like 4 different phases of play before the goal.
But when we were watching, you said it was one phase of play for the goal.
That was me. I said it was multiple phases. No, I still agree with myself, because then if that is a foul, which actually when I've watched it from a different angle, I don't think it is. But if it is a foul, then that goal never happens still, because
they changed that rule though, because when VAR was first in the first season it was in, they were pulling back for fouls, which happened because it was technically in the same phase of play, which happened like ages ago, and I mean that happened there's a good bit 3 or 4 before that goal goes in. And that's what I mean.
There was a good 45 to a minute there. Like,
I think it was way more.
I think it was me.
I think if anything,
different phases of play.
If anything,
but still stops that goal from happening.
I would not blame VAR at all. For I'd be blaming the referee because the referee,
the lino as well.
The lino especially, but he was right next to that bar. He should be putting that foul.
The referee should understand why he didn't give it though.
But that's the thing. Referees now don't give fouls because they think we'll go back to VAR.
That's why you get proper training.
Some
refs in the Prem get it spot on. They know when and not.
The angle Anthony Taylor's got to have to give him some credit for that decision because he's took but it's like as he's looking at it, it looks like from the angle he's at, the ball's changed direction, so it does look like he's won the ball just because of that angle. You know what I mean? I think that was a hard decision to get right or wrong. But I think it is a foul. When you slow it down, it's a foul.
I think one of them, though, I think the linesman or the referee has got to flag that and give a foul.
But I think that's like
no one's done that.
I think that foul though is like it's not like it's not a clear foul. Like some people think it looks like he gets the ball.
At normal time, it looks like
It's not like he's been absolutely wiped out, nowhere near the ball. Like he's still close to it, but it's not like
He's
how did he get that wrong?
He's away from
like the pulling the hair. How did you not notice that?
Yeah,
like that's one of the ones I just.
I mean, we saw how quickly he got on a Nunez. Yesterday was Paul Tierney in the ref for the Liverpool game. The Nunez red card. How quick he was on.
But Nunez was stupid for that because
he
complained at the ref. He complained at the ref that he was getting pushed and shoved and turned around and headbutted him. Stupid.
It was a bit daft from Nunez.
Hothead, South Americans.
But I agree that I think Tottenham. It's a good sign when they play that bad and still come out.
Yeah, I think that's massive.
The City 4-0. I mean, we're back again with Haaland, where he's making the right attacking runs.
Not getting the ball,
Not getting the ball. I mean, Foden. I'll say that now. Foden that game was very, very greedy.
Yeah.
Like even his goal he scores should have passed it.
Yeah. There was one before that, wasn't it? Where he could have sweated
it. Position,
It was literally. His
goal was exactly his goal. The correct decision still would have been to pass.
Like if I'm Pep,
a hard angle.
If I'm Pep after that, I mean, he got took off. I think in the second half.
Haaland
only got took off by 76 minutes.
I don't think it would have been because that might have been, but you never know. But
he's probably just thought winning 4-0.
Surely after that game, Pep's pulling him back and going, yes, you've scored, but
not shoot. Pep will analyse and just say like,
look at these chances.
Haaland got a hat-trick easy
because if that's against the better side, Alisson could save.
I mean, he's a young lad, but you've got to be saying to him, you need to look up and see who's around you.
100%.
It's all about decision making in front of goal. It's all about making that, and sometimes you cannot see because when you're in so zone of 1v1, your only mind is shoot, goal, goal,
that's
goal,
the thing.
goal.
The City players,
they're very unselfish though.
They're meant to, that's what I mean. They're meant to be like aware of everything.
Foden was just the one player. I think that game I was like, you need to be getting in gel.
One thing Bournemouth,
because if that happens against a Liverpool team or it happens in the Champions League, and you get opportunities like that, you know what I mean?
Well, remember the Euros? Was it Euro World Cup where Kane didn't sweat at Sterling or vice versa?
People still go on about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do.
That could have changed everything. But yeah, City. It's obvious. There was obviously
Bournemouth 2-man marked Haaland. And that's how the De Bruyne goal.
Stupid though.
De Bruyne just ran. Then one came off Haaland and he just stuck it in the net. Stupid. It was an easy goal.
Why on earth do you put 2 on Haaland and forget about De Bruyne?
Yeah. And De Bruyne was just running through the team, and then he eventually went off Haaland. I think they were playing 3 at the back, and there was the middle centre. I couldn't tell you his name. But
Lloyd Kelly came out, didn't he? He blocked it.
Lloyd Kelly.
But like all game, there was he was in front and one was behind.
How many did they have at the back? 5.
5 at the back.
3 centre backs.
Yeah, you got to be against City at 5 at the back.
I wonder. This is quite like that. No one else is talking about. I just don't rate Mahrez as much as a lot of other people do.
Nah, I like him.
He was very ball greedy, I thought as well. Every time he got the ball, he just shot.
He was all
weird positions as well.
I think he was all right. I didn't think he was too bad. I think Foden was worse.
Foden was terrible. Not in the sense he played well, but I mean for like
decision making.
But this kind of says where Man City's at. Like, I mean, the 1-4.
We're criticising them.
We're picking at the bits of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's still. I mean, De Bruyne looks like he's world class. His goal is unbelievable.
He's ridiculous. Like.
He's an absolute joke, De Bruyne.
I tell you what, though, I hope he doesn't. But if he does get injured, I think City could be in trouble. You know,
from an FPL point of view, who would you rather have, De Bruyne or Haaland?
It's tough. Probably De Bruyne.
No, but the thing is, Haaland's getting so many good positions. Eventually, he's gonna.
Because it is a very tricky. Like, I mean, with De Bruyne, he'll always be in that team, and he's always going to get an assist every game or something.
That's right. He always picks up a little knuckle every year.
Yeah, always. Every now and then. Every now and then, he'll pick up a 3-4 week knock.
Because they're in midfield and 4, you take one, you get a -4 hit for them. But with Haaland, like, as you said there, he gets in the attacking positions. I mean, how long do you reckon it's going to take City before he's starting to get every little chance to him, goals after goals.
It'll come. He'll eventually start getting half chances. He'll start getting half chances and putting them away.
Well, he still had a few chances.
I think they'll struggle.
Against Bournemouth, which he could have stuck away.
Well, I seen something on Twitter saying he touched the ball twice.
Yeah,
I seen on the highlights he touched it 4 times.
Maybe first half. But
yeah.
Second half, he had quite a few.
A
few opportunities where he probably could have done better still.
Yeah, they got Newcastle away next week.
I think he scores.
I think it'll be an interesting game, to be honest, because I don't think this is that usually Man City coming at home to us. It's usually right. We'll sit back and we'll try. And
I don't think we will.
Teams struggle when they come to Newcastle away, but
I think
honestly,
City probably will win.
I think Man City will win.
I think they'll win, but I think it might be at 1-0 or something. I think we'll make it hard for them.
Who's your 2 centre backs at the moment? Like who's
starting?
Botman and Shaw.
Haaland gets in behind that at least once.
Botman, Shaw, Dan Burn.
That's what Haaland surely gets in behind once or twice, and he's. Don't get wrong. Pope's a good keeper.
Let's soon find out.
Yeah. We'll see how we do. We'll talk about that in the preview later this week. Other games we've got Arsenal, Leicester.
Unbelievable. Arsenal look so good.
They look so good.
Arsenal, Madison's goal should never went in. It was pure from Ramsdale. Just smashed it. Just a wall shot.
Wow.
Jesus, man.
He's classy. That's sign of the season already. Yeah. I've said it.
100%. And the fact where Arteta came out and said he was annoyed at himself after the game. He wasn't happy with his performance.
How many do you think Jesus hits this season?
I'm saying 20. Has he got?
I'm definitely saying 20. I was thinking maybe 25.
No, he's only on 2 goals.
20 plus.
He didn't score last week.
20 plus.
But
could be one of the top goal scorers, you know.
No, I think he could definitely be. I honestly think 25 is not a bad
number if he stays
fit.
Huh? Do you see him beating Haaland?
At the moment. But obviously,
that's
what I'm saying at the moment.
That would be a headline for you. City's buying Haaland for 100 mil when they had Jesus.
Yeah. Same time, I don't think Jesus would. Even if Jesus played the full season, I don't think he'd get 20 plus goals at City.
I don't know. When you look at City's team, how many opportunities Haaland had, right, where he's just been able to square it, you not think Jesus could be in them same positions?
Maybe he was.
You know
last season, that's what he was. But I mean, I think he has more of the time to dribble and stuff on the ball at Arsenal and stuff. Like, he looks. What's the word?
He comes deeper.
He has more flair to himself as well.
He comes a little bit in Palace. He's
got a bit of freedom. Whereas, because we've said that about Jack Grealish at City, where he doesn't have as much freedom because there's a certain way Pep plays.
Yeah.
Whereas
he doesn't get a dribble with the ball.
You think if Jack Grealish was in Arsenal's team, he'd do better as well?
Possibly.
That kind of.
We went about it the other day. We were saying is it detrimental to your career because you're just going to win trophies and stuff, but for you to shine as an individual player, going to Man City is probably not the best idea. To shine as an individual, because it's more of a team.
Because you need to. If you go to Man City now, you've got to. If you want to shine as an individual, you've got to be better than De Bruyne. You've got to be better than Haaland. You've got to be better than Bernardo Silva.
Exactly,
Diaz, so many players.
I was saying Jesus, but Martinelli's looking amazing. Zinchenko looked unbelievable. Saliba looked good. I know he scored the own goal, but Saliba looked really good.
I think Arsenal's squad looked very good. Yeah. Even Xhaka looked good against Leicester. I know Leicester weren't very good, but Xhaka look.
And he's back with the fans after.
Yeah, he looks
controversy.
He looks happy again.
When he scored, he was doing the heart sign to the fans and everything.
I do think they still need another centre midfielder, like a better centre midfielder. But I still think for the top long term. But I still think Arsenal will probably get another. I've changed my mind about Xhaka. Probably get one more season out of Xhaka, then I'll probably ship him off.
I see January still try and get someone in January.
Arsenal looks like a good place to be right now. We've seen
the club looks like it's going forward.
Emirates, even the fan base, it looks like there's a buzz about it again. Whereas it's been for the last few years.
And I've always liked Arsenal. I've always liked Arsenal.
Anyone once again.
Back to the owners. The owners had to kick up the arse.
Yeah, they've changed it around a bit.
And he's actually put money in the club, and he's got a plan with Arteta.
Yeah. And your next 3 fixtures, God knows where Arsenal could be by the end of the month. You've got Bournemouth away, Fulham at home, and Villa at home.
You think you get 9 points?
That should be 9 points,
you think.
And then you got Man United away.
But it's Arsenal. Arsenal still got a one of them.
For me, your next hard game there, Brentford away, Eton for September.
Not even that.
United away will be hard.
Depends
where United are at that stage. Because they've got to get new signings in. That's just after the window shuts that 4th September. Yeah. There's still a lot.
United's going to make some panic deadline.
We've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks of the window left.
By Jeff Hendrick.
Sign Ross Stewart or something. Title signs United in again.
Yeah, but I could see Arsenal being right at the top 3 by the end of the month, 100% of these next 3 games. Looking at the table at the minute, we've got, Arsenal are the only other team with City who've won both games. We've got Brentford who've got a good start, winning a draw. I think, are you surprised by Brentford anyway, the start of the season?
No.
Because I know I thought they'd struggle a bit with Eriksen not on the team.
Leicester and United away, you probably look and think, right, only 1 point there.
Yeah.
Probably, might be pushing it.
That's what I mean.
I'm surprised at Brentford. They look like they were last season. They look like they were against look like they were where they were last season. Very good.
Because we're seeing, we're going about the players and stuff. Ten Hag's also a bit to blame. Well, not to blame, but Brentford purposely, like you've seen on, I think they pointed out on Match of the Day, where every single Brentford player had a Man United player. So when they passed the ball, there was no one to pass to. I think the first 2 goals, not the first goal, the second goal. When they passed to Eriksen and then Eriksen tried to pass it.
Locked on to
every Brentford player was on a Man United player.
It
was really good.
Good pressure.
Really good pressure now.
I mean, that's all you need to do, Man United, at the minute, just pressure because they don't look comfortable on the ball at all. There's players in there who really don't. I mean, Ten Hag tried to push it. We've seen the pre-season thing where they were doing like the one-touch passing and that, McTominay and all that. And
McTominay put what his head around us.
You know what I mean? We've seen it in the game now where McTominay's passes.
I think the first 2 goals were De Gea's fault. Like De Gea passed at Eriksen. He was a player on him. And obviously the save. That wasn't a save.
Spurs have got off to the start we expect them to as well. Win last week. They've got Wolves this week, which could be another absolute haul-in for them. Newcastle, just solid again, haven't conceded at all. I mean, that's what they've been defensively solid. They just need to improve attacking-wise. Leeds, Jesse Marsh has really got a good
side at
the minute. I mean, they did lose a 2-0 lead on the weekend and draw 2-2 in a game which they probably should have won.
That Rebel's goal was class.
Yeah.
Dribbling about the box.
I was like, what's he doing? And he scores.
So I think that would...
How many more games have we got to do, by the way? Wolves.
Well, we don't really need to go for the rest of them.
They weren't entertaining games.
I mean, yeah. Do you really want to go for a 0-0 Wolves and Fulham?
Yeah, well, I thought... that was good.
Or 0-0 with Brighton Newcastle. Do you want to go for that?
You mentioned the Forest game.
Yeah, the Forest one's probably the last one I think we'll finish on. I mean, Villa and Everton...
No.
Yeah, it was just... Gerrard needed the win. I mean, the Ney slipped up the end as well.
By the way, Diego Carlos out for 6 to 9 months.
Massive
that is huge. Who? Conte? He's out. No, it's Conte House that's out. Sorry, they've got to get another one in.
Yeah. Have to.
Typical.
But the Forest West Ham game.
West Ham should have scored about 4.
Yeah, West Ham really should.
Forest look quite lucky. I
think the first West Ham goal, daft from Antonio. Do
you know what? Do you know? No. Honestly. He's running at full speed, right? As you slow down, yes, he's run into him. He's the big lad. He's going full speed, right? I've watched him. As he's running full speed, he slows down a little bit, but then he takes a step to the right to move away, then to the left, and it's like, you know, one of them when you're walking past someone in the shopping centre and you both go right. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you run up to someone, he just barged him. He didn't go hands out and try to slow himself. He just barged him, flung him on the floor.
I know, but I don't think he's intended to run into him fouling. He's running full speed.
Yeah,
he's got no way of slowing down. He's got no way of slowing down.
Still wiped him out.
Yeah,
he's just a bigger lad.
But the ball's nowhere near that.
It's not like he wasn't looking.
We'll go back to the Chelsea Tottenham game. The ball was nowhere near that centre mid that got fouled.
Yeah.
Same with the corner. The ball was nowhere near Romero and Cucurella, and that got thingied over for a foul. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Taiwo, what's his name? Taiwo Anui.
I don't even know how. I don't even want to say that name.
Oniwi.
That was
probably
that's I think goal of the season so far.
Lingard would be thanking him more than anything.
No.
He absolutely fluffed that shot.
He got his JCB digger out and dig up half the car.
The 200 grand a week, and you've got someone who's squared it to, and he's fluffing shots like that, man. I mean, they've just signed.
I thought your Forest would win. I put my predictions. Forest would win, didn't I?
I mean, how many?
What were the predictions, by the way? Have anybody's got the predictions on you?
Oh yeah, I won't have them on us.
Was it looking for?
Mate, I told you though.
9 other games they get beat.
Nah. Who have we got next?
Dean Henderson had a half-class game.
Yeah, he's a good keeper, Dean Henderson.
It was Forest got next.
Oh, yeah, he was on. I think he's kind of shown that Man United have let someone good go there.
Yeah, but when he joined Forest, he came out and slated United for not sending out last year because he said he was going to fight.
Is he out on loan? He's on loan.
Yeah,
he's on loan.
He won't stay.
I don't know how they haven't sold him yet. He's been hanging around the club for 3 years.
How old is he?
20. He'd be 24, 25.
He has 3 years left. They might want him then. It might be a long term.
Yeah, so Forest are up 106 mil spent now.
Jesus Christ.
They've just I think
signed like 3 new players.
Yeah, I think when we
Dennis,
did it,
they got Dennis in from Watford.
Dennis from Watford for about 30 million.
They've got a good player from Atlanta as well. What's he called? Is that a Kruller?
We've got good players everywhere, but this is the problem.
Romeo Frula.
I thought, you know, when we did our predictions, how long ago was that? 2 weeks ago. I think they've brought in 6 more players since then. Yeah, my whole point was they brought too many players in at that point.
Jesus Christ. Kouyaté from Palace as well on a free transfer.
I don't mind that.
That's a solid transfer. It's a Premier League proven player. Mate, that's like just solid.
He's like a Tarkowski type
player. Not playing then.
Just solid player.
That's good. Good callback far away from the first team.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they've got it. They will definitely be all right. I can't see them being relegated. I think last week for me was a bit of a like, oh Christ, these are actually.
This week, I know they weren't promising at all.
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, but
promising.
3 points.
But again,
yes, I know.
I go back to the point where Forest are going to start off in a struggle, and they're going to gel together, and they're going to get better and better throughout the season.
After this will be massive to them. Who have they got next game? Have a look. This 3 points, even though they play crap.
They've got Everton away.
Yeah, but
which is a huge game.
I was going to say all the other relegation teams that. I think all the other relegation teams have picked up a win.
Everton,
Bournemouth. Everton
got beat twice.
Oh yeah.
Villa and Chelsea.
Yeah.
But Bournemouth have won.
Yeah. Fulham drew.
But next
week's a bit of an awkward one because I mean the big teams are mainly all away. I think Tottenham's at home. Tottenham's at home.
I fancy Tottenham.
That's it. Really. Yeah. Everyone else is away. Chelsea's away. Arsenal's away. City's away. Liverpool's away. I mean, I'm not even going to count Man Utd as the big team right now. Leicester, they're another team who's dropping off at the minute.
Tell you what, if they don't get 3 points at Southampton, Rodgers is in trouble.
Yeah. Do you want to wrap it up then?
Yeah.
Talked everything we need to for this week.
Aye.
Hopefully, Game Week 3 can live up to the hype of Game Week 2 because that was a really good week of football. That's exactly what the Premier League's about. Just as it's turned 30 as well. But once again, thanks for listening to the Onside Podcast. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast? Yeah, it is, and Spotify. At Onside Podcast on all social media, and we'll catch you all there.
Ciao.